Long after the glorious age of gods had faded into legend, the continent of Dolua entered a new technological era. Humanity advanced rapidly through the development of soul technology, creating devastating soul weapons, giant mechas, and living metals capable of reshaping civilization itself. With their growing ambition, humans conquered the oceans and discovered new continents, but their progress demanded enormous resources. To sustain this expansion, soul beasts were hunted relentlessly for their spirit souls and soul rings, pushing their entire race toward extinction. Deep within the Great Star Doe Forest, the final sanctuary of the soul beasts, hatred toward humanity continued to grow. The weak had already vanished, leaving only the strongest beasts hiding in the darkness, waiting for the chance to retaliate. After countless years of slumber, the Beast King awakened once again, determined to lead the surviving soul beasts in a final uprising against mankind. At the center of this turbulent era was Tang Wulin, a boy whose destiny would eventually connect both races. Tang Wulin was born carrying a secret even the gods feared. He was the son of the legendary sea god and Azura god Tang San and the 100,000-year-old soft-boned rabbit Xiao Wu. Unknown to anyone, the dying consciousness of the Golden Dragon King had sealed itself inside the infant's body. The Golden Dragon King, one half of the ancient dragon god, possessed monstrous physical power, destructive instincts, and endless resentment toward the divine realm after its defeat during the ancient divine war. However, Tang Wulin himself knew nothing about this fate. He spent his childhood in the poor coastal city of Glorybound City with his adoptive parents, Tang Xiren and Lang Yu. Though their life was simple, they cared deeply for him. Inspired by the stories of powerful soul masters, Tang Wulin dreamed of awakening a strong martial soul and becoming someone capable of protecting his family. But reality shattered his hopes. At the age of 6, during the martial soul awakening ceremony, Tang Wulin awakened the seemingly worthless blue-silver grass. The classroom immediately filled with disappointment and ridicule. Yet something unusual occurred during the ceremony. Golden veins suddenly spread across his body while intense pain overwhelmed him. Even the spirit master overseeing the awakening was alarmed by the strange phenomenon. Despite being mocked for possessing a weak martial soul and only rank 3 innate soul power, Tang Wulin refused to give up. He entered Red Mountain Academy and began learning the basics of cultivation. While most teachers ignored him because of his useless spirit, Tang Wulin trained harder than anyone else, determined to prove them wrong. On his very first day returning home from school, his life changed forever. He encountered a group of delinquents bullying a mysterious silver-haired little girl. Without hesitation, Tang Wulin stepped forward and protected her. The frightened girl revealed her name as Nar, though she had completely lost her memories. Unable to find her family, Tang Wulin brought her home, and over time she became like a younger sister to him. The two quickly formed a deep emotional bond, with Tang Wulin constantly protecting her from bullies and caring for her whenever she felt lonely. At the same time, Tang Wulin learned a painful truth about the world of soul masters: cultivation required enormous wealth. In order to purchase a spirit soul in the future, he needed money his family simply did not possess. Wanting to help, he became an apprentice blacksmith under the famous smith Mang Tian. Mang Tian initially doubted the small boy's determination and forced him to strike metal thousands of times as a test. Tang Wulin endured hours of pain until his hands bled and swelled, yet he never complained. Impressed by his perseverance, Mang Tian finally accepted him as a disciple. Years passed. Tang Wulin's forging talent grew astonishingly fast. While continuing his studies, he mastered force transmission techniques, learned metal extraction, and gradually advanced from crafting tiny components to forging complex metal pieces. His classmates slowly began respecting him, especially after he defeated bullies who mocked both him and Nar. Eventually, after years of saving every coin he earned from blacksmithing, Tang Wulin finally gathered enough money to purchase his first spirit soul from the Spirit Pagoda. Full of excitement and hope, he visited the Spirit Pagoda alongside his father. Unfortunately, fate once again dealt him a cruel blow. Because of his limited funds, Tang Wulin could only afford a random spirit soul selection. In the end, he received a defective 10-year grass snake spirit soul, one of the weakest possible outcomes. The disappointment completely crushed him. For the first time in years of hardship, Tang Wulin broke down in tears, believing all his efforts had been meaningless. Nair comforted him silently, allowing him to cry on her shoulder. Yet that same night, everything changed. Determined not to waste the spirit soul he had obtained, Tang Wulin decided to fuse with it despite its defects. During the fusion process, the dormant power sealed inside his body suddenly reacted violently. His soul power erupted uncontrollably as golden patterns spread across his skin. Intense heat surged from his spine throughout his entire body, followed by unbearable pain that felt as if countless insects were tearing apart his flesh from the inside. While enduring the agony, Tang Wulin's martial soul underwent a mysterious mutation. His blue-silver grass evolved, his soul power broke through to rank 11, and the hidden bloodline of the Golden Dragon King finally began awakening. When he regained consciousness, his body felt completely transformed. Mang Tian quickly noticed that Tang Wulin's blue-silver grass was no longer ordinary. Though nobody yet understood the true source of his power, it became clear that something extraordinary was sleeping inside the young boy. As Tang Wulin continued growing stronger, he eventually entered the legendary Shrek Academy, where his true journey truly began. There, he met talented companions who would become his closest friends and future comrades. Together, they fought powerful opponents, participated in dangerous tournaments, piloted mechas, and faced enemies from both human factions and abyssal dimensions. During his years at Shrek Academy, Tang Wulin repeatedly risked his life to protect those he loved. He trained under terrifying pressure, constantly struggling against the violent instincts of the Golden Dragon King sealed inside him. Each new seal he unlocked granted him overwhelming strength, but also brought him closer to losing control. Meanwhile, hidden in the shadows, Nair's true identity slowly emerged. She was deeply connected to Gu Yuna, the Silver Dragon King and leader of the remaining soul beasts. Torn between her duty toward her race and her feelings for Tang Wulin, Gu Yuna became one of the central figures in the growing conflict between humans and soul beasts. As wars intensified across the continent, Tang Wulin rose from an underestimated child with weak blue-silver grass into one of the most influential figures of his era. He inherited the title of Dragon King, mastered the terrifying powers of the Golden Dragon King, and became the hope capable of bridging the hatred between humanity and soul beasts. But his journey was never easy. He endured painful separations, deadly battles, betrayals, and sacrifices. He witnessed the destruction of Shrek Academy, fought against abyssal invasions threatening the entire continent, and carried the burden of protecting both humans and soul beasts from mutual destruction. In the end, Tang Wulin's story became far more than the rise of a powerful soul master. It became the legend of a boy born between two worlds, human and beast, god and dragon, who struggled against fate itself in order to protect the people he loved and create a future where both races could finally coexist.